Joshua's trying to find the right code so he can launch the missiles himself.
Triggering process initiated.
You're all going to die down here.
I remember I was at an intersection and I wound up letting this car go because there was a hot chick in the car, right? So a friend of mine is sitting in the passenger seat, and I let this car go, and he goes, why you being so nice today? I was like, the chick's hot. He goes, she was just at a stop sign. She's gone now. What was the point in being nice? It doesn't make any sense. But I was literally being nice because she was hot. If it was some dude sitting in the car, I just would have. I got right away. Go fuck yourself.
Well, here's the thing that I've learned. And, unfortunately, it spilled over a lot. Is if she's specifically hot, I will be a cunt.
Oh,
I
God.
will be a douchebag because they expect it. It's
Yeah.
like, you should be nice to me. I'm so used to being treated really nice by all the guys around me. Why are you treating me like an asshole? Because I can't stand you. You're fucking annoying.
So was there a point in which that changed for you, where you were being nice to hot chicks, and then all of a sudden it changed? Probably.
Maybe when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I did it,
Mm-hmm.
but then I noticed that everybody was being like, you ever hear a girl when she needs help at the something? There's like 15 guys
I've
running
seen it
towards
all the
her
time.
to help her.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting there like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I would just be like, oh, whatever. I need help. You look at me like, I'd look away like, no, it's okay. And I've noticed that they would, and that's when I started noticing that they would pay more attention to you if you were an asshole, because you weren't giving them attention.
Yeah.
I'm beautiful. Why aren't you giving me this attention that I'm forcing onto you? Pay attention to me. And they would like specifically point me out to, come after me to demand my attention. And that's when I noticed, oh, you were so putty in my fucking hands. Oh, baby girl,
It's the magnet.
You're sucking my dick tonight if you want this attention, you bitch.
It's the magnet theory. The whole magnet, the closer you push one magnet to the other, the further away it gets. Mm-hmm. And then you flip the magnet, you start going away, and it's attracted. It's the exact same thing. I was talking about that with another friend of mine. I was talking about how when I was a kid, I would always have to be the guy to go up to a group of girls, because all my other friends were basically pussies. They just couldn't walk up to a group of girls and just...
Because girls are scary.
Yeah.
They're 120 pounds of scariness.
So I was the dude that was always elected to do it because I don't give a shit. I'll walk up to a group of girls. So the problem is, and the one thing I noticed back then, is I walked up, I would bring the girls back, like if we're sitting at some fast food restaurant or something. This was when we were teenagers. I would go up to the group of girls. I would bring them over to our table.
Oh, no.
So, no, everything was great, but I would not be able to hook up with any of them because I was the one that approached them. So I had to do this trick, which was I had to bring them to the table, leave for 10, 15 minutes, and come back. Otherwise, I couldn't get any attention from them because I was the one that approached them. Mm-hmm. And the douchebags that were too scared to walk up to them seemed like the aloof guys, and they were the ones that. So I would literally walk away for 10 minutes, go talk to somebody else, and then come back. And because I was absent from that initial encounter, I was back in the loop of potentially getting with one of them.
Well, because they had to
Well, it was also
capture your attention.
It was also the fact that I walked away. The fact that I walked away, in their brains went, oh, why is he leaving? He's not interested.
Are we not pretty enough? Oh, there's nothing more devastating to a woman than when you dismiss their prettiness. Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, you
just fucked with their heads.
Well, I was telling this to my friend the other day because I forget why. We always talk about like shit when we were kids and all that stuff. So I brought this up, but I didn't realize at the time why it worked. I just thought that for some reason, when I walk away, go do my own thing and come back, all of a sudden, it was like I did it as almost like a good luck thing. I had to do that to have luck with the girls. I didn't realize it was because I walked away that made them attractive to begin with.
Well, you're supposed to think about their feelings, and you're supposed to think, ask them how their day is, and ask them how they're feeling, and what they think, and what their thoughts are.
But when you do that, they're not interested.
Of course not. What? Shut the fuck up with your fucking feelings.
That's just.
But it's
that's the
funny
way it
because
works.
you did that and it worked.
Yeah.
But then people will sit there and tell you that's the wrong way to do it. That's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to talk. You're supposed to get there. You're supposed to wait for them to talk to you, because what you did, you invaded their space. You invaded their space and you made them feel uncomfortable. And you're supposed to let them come to you and let them talk to you.
But they don't. Women do not go up to men.
Of course
they just
not,
don't,
because they can't accept rejection.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they just don't. So the only way the human race can continue is if the man walks up to the woman.
I'm agreeing with you wholeheartedly, but I just love the people who argue the other side.
But here's the other thing that we noticed. Me and my best friend in high school. You know how when you, even like junior high, like freshman year high school, like around that age, when you're really just starting to figure this stuff out, what we would do, like if you would walk up to a girl and try to hit on her or whatever, it'd be hit and miss, mostly miss, that kind of thing. The way you get around it is by doing more numbers. But we noticed if I went up to a girl and kind of let her know that my friend was into her, right? She would wind up liking me instead of him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the reverse was true. So we used to, if he saw a girl he liked, he wanted to meet her, whatever, he would walk up and introduce her to me, knowing that she would be attracted to him in return.
Yeah. Because, wait a minute. Because this is going through my mind. It's like, wait a minute. Why aren't you asking me out? Aren't I pretty enough for you?
It would happen every
passing
time.
me off to your friend? What the fuck? I don't want your friend. I want you. I want your attention. I want to work for your attention. Because why aren't you giving it? Why aren't you just handing it? I got his attention. I want yours.
Yeah. It would work that way every single time. And if you went up and asked and hit on the girl or whatever, and your friend kind of hung back and he's the aloof one and all that, she would like him. Yeah. That's how it happened every time.
Sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So we came.
Okay, yeah, 2 + 2 is 4. Water's wet.
I'm just
blue.
saying, not everybody knows this stuff. And I didn't realize it back then. We just knew that for some reason.
You knew how it worked. You didn't know why it worked.
Exactly.
You just knew it worked.
We didn't know why it worked. We just knew what worked.
I don't know how electricity works. We just know plug the shit in, fucking charge my shit.
Exactly.
I don't need to know why it fucking works.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's exactly how it would break down when we were kids.
Well, you know what's funny? You were talking about things when you were younger. Do you have those memories that pop up in your head?
Fuck yeah.
Where you're just like, go away.
Go.
Why, brain? Why do you bring this shit up, you motherfucker?
The embarrassing shit.
Oh, God damn, I hate that fucking shit so much.
I always think I'm crazy because I'll be walking around, like I'll be walking around my kitchen or whatever, doing whatever. And to the outside observer, all you'll see... All you'll see is me just walking around, and then all of a sudden start shaking my head, going, enough. All right, done. And sometimes I'm by myself, and I just go, shut up.
Stop it. Stop. Yes. Shut the fuck up. What are you doing? I know I do it at work a lot of time. I know people look at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this
that
asshole?
happens to me all the time, and I always think I'm the only one that does that.
No, man. It drives me up because I'll be taking a shower, and I'll be thinking about the dumbest shit like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And just, you remember that time that I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
Well,
I got to think of a song like, that's why I love 5 Finger Death Punch, because I just got to start thinking of these rocks in your head, underground, blah, blah, blah. Jekyll Hyde. Just something to get it out of my head.
I could think of a specific example. It's embarrassing, but it happened.
Oh.
So it's not a big deal. I just fell. But here's the thing. I'm on my bike, right? And there's a car that's coming, but they're taking so fucking long that I got pissed off. So I'm trying to cross the street. Then I'm just like, fuck you. And I got on. I started pedaling the bike. But because I was waiting and I was off my bike, I was trying to get across in a hurry, my foot kind of slipped off the pedal. So I went from basically telling the driver to go fuck themselves and then face planting right on the ground in front of them. that was basically karma just stopping me from being an asshole. I was like, there you go, you fucking dick. But anyway, so whenever that pops in my head, it's one of those moments where I go, oh God, and I just got to shake my head.
Now I remember, I forget what I was watching, was somebody's talking about he's got too many demons and that's why he drinks and does drugs. And for a while, I didn't understand what the fuck they meant. I was like, what are you talking about, demons? Now I understand what the fuck they're talking about.
The embarrassing shit.
Those are the
voices
demons
in your
just
head.
pop in your head. And I don't have kids because I can just only imagine like all the shit that I fucked up raising this kid.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You got those demons. Like I got enough demons on my head of the dumb shit that I did growing up. Now you want to pack more onto me for raising my kid. I know I'm going to fuck up. I mean, I've never raised a kid before.
Everybody does. There isn't a single person on this planet that raised a kid. Think about the shit you went through when you were young. Were your parents perfect?
Yeah, no.
Mine weren't.
I don't know I'm gonna fuck
Everybody.
shit up. I'm not gonna
Everybody
fuck up.
does it.
I'm not gonna fuck shit up lightly. I'm gonna fuck shit up royally. Like fuck up big time. I'm gonna think back like 20, 30 years from now and be like, oh, why did I do that to him? God, I feel so bad. Why? Oh, drank booze, drugs, snort cocaine.
You also get those things that pop in your head, the things that you should have said. Like you come up with the fucking witty thing you should have said in that moment. and it happens within minutes. Like you'll have something, somebody will say something, and you have, within 2 minutes later, you have the perfect comeback. But for some reason, and that'll go in your head for years.
Yes.
Years, you'll be like, if I just fucking said that.
Why did I just do that? Just still, even like, especially shit in high, I don't know why. It's been, I graduated in 93, and I still think of shit that I should have done. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
I know.
It was so fucking long ago. Nobody
know.
gives a fuck.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Why do you bring it up?
I mean,
God damn it.
This stuff that goes back to high school, junior high, like, embarrassing shit in front of other people.
Yeah, see, that's where my hard drive gets corrupted.
You don't remember any of that stuff?
Anything before high school, for whatever reason, I don't. Oh, actually, oh my God, you motherfucker.
Oh God.
You mother.
What popped in? What popped in?
Oh God damn it. I need some booze. I need some drugs. I need some coke. We had this typing teacher. We used to call him Cowboy Bob.
Okay.
Because he always wore a white shirt and a vest.
Okay.
And like a dumb fucking shit trying to get the approval of the stupid girl that I liked.
Of course.
I came in one day with a shirt that I wrote it, I'm Cowboy Bob, yeehaw. And I wore a cowboy hat and those big giant googly eyeglasses.
Okay. And that's it.
That's it.
That's the thing that when you think of it, you think.
Oh, I'm cringe. Douche chills.
Did you get the girl?
Of course not.
Of course not.
She's looking at me like, what the? Like I'm looking. The only.
How old were you?
7th grade. So whatever age you are in 7th grade.
Okay.
I don't remember.
15, something like that.
14. I don't remember. No,
Yeah.
because 14, 15. I think you were in high school.
Okay.
And so
Yeah, 15 is freshman year, right?
Yeah. So.
Or no, 14 is freshman year.
Yeah, 14, 15.
14,
that age.
15.
So I had to be like 12, 11, 12, 13,
Yeah.
something around that.
And just the fact that you went to school that way is.
Yes. Yeah,
'Cause
and mind
that's
you,
not
this was
even that
Halloween.
bad.
This was during Halloween. And of course, you saw Stranger Things when they come in the Ghostbusters outfits and they're like, why is nobody wearing costumes except us?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the
Oh,
moment.
is that?
But
that
of
was
course,
your
I was
moment?
so dumb and naive that it didn't faze me. I wasn't like, why is nobody wearing costume? No, I walked around proud. Like, look at me. Aren't I awesome? Oh, God.
And nobody else was wearing costumes at that?
I don't think so. I don't remember that moment being in the costume. What I do remember is somebody took a picture of our class.
It was
I remember
class
the
picture
picture.
day.
No, it wasn't class picture day.
Oh, okay.
So we were just sitting in the class, while the guy was there.
Yeah.
In the classroom, and somebody, I guess, walked in and took a picture. And I remember that's what I remember. Me sitting in the corner.
Oh, we need to look in your yearbook. Is it
I
in your
don't.
yearbook?
It wasn't in. I don't know where it was.
Okay.
I think I was flipping through photos of somebody else later on in high school, and somebody had that picture, and I looked at them like, oh my fucking
The only
God.
one in costume.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was a white shirt, and it had a label on it that said Cowboy Bob.
No, I drew it in marker.
Did anybody make fun of you? Your friends make fun of you?
I don't know why they didn't. Nobody said anything to me. I don't know why. Nobody went up to me and just went,
Yeah, as they should have.
as they should have, knocked off my hat and those stupid fucking glasses.
If you could go back in time,
If I could go back in time, like,
you just beat the
I
shit
would
out of your
just
teenager.
beat the shit out of myself. I would just, you stupid dumb mother, man the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Until you're fucking in senior year, shut the fuck up. You were banned from saying a fucking word.
If I ever invent a time machine, I'm going to go back in time. So later, when you're older, if that memory comes back to you, only you remember some short dude walking up and smacking you across the face, it was me.
Well, you know what's funny? When you bring up time machines, somebody was saying that it will never happen. A time machine will never happen.
Yeah.
Just because of, you can't just do a time machine. You have to do a time and space machine.
Yeah, that's true.
Because growing up, I thought we just sat like a turd in the water. In space. Mm-hmm. Then somebody showed me a GIF.
Yeah.
GIF with a J, hard J GIF.
Okay.
Of what it really is. We're the star. The sun is a star that's shooting through space, and we're just following the sun, catching up to it. I'm like, my mind was fucking blown.
Yeah.
Because all through growing up, I think I
stationary.
didn't see that GIF until I was maybe well into my 30s, late 30s, and I'm sitting there like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were just like the solar system. Because the way they showed every solar system was flat and just sitting there, just floating in space.
No. We're hurtling through the universe.
Yes.
So we're not even the planet isn't even in the same space it was 5 minutes ago.
No.
With the rotation of the Earth, we're not even sitting in the exact same place we were 5 minutes ago.
Not even remotely close.
Yeah. But first of all, that's my favorite superpower is like time travel. When Heroes was out. You watched Heroes, right?
No.
You've never watched Heroes?
I couldn't. It seemed like a ripoff of, Marvel or DC.
Well, I mean, anything with superpowers is.
I think they did it better than any especially, it came out after Alias, and after the way ABC treated Alias.
Yeah.
I was very much anti-AB. Like anything that came out, was just.
So you didn't watch any of it?
No.
Okay. Well, it's actually a good show.
Wasn't it on NBC?
I don't remember. I don't remember what it was on. But the one guy, the Asian guy, I think his name was Hiro or whatever. But basically, he had the ability to move through time and space, kind of like Jumper, only except he wasn't just jumping from A to B. He could also go back in time.
Now, back in time. Yeah. Physically or back in time in his own body?
No, in his own body. So
okay.
It's not like he's going back in time and he's 13 years old now. He goes back to when he was 13 and he can actually meet his 13-year-old self.
Oh no, so he goes back physically. Yes.
Yeah, he goes back physically. Yeah, it's not like Quantum Leap where he goes back.
Well, the Quantum Leap
he was different people.
Made more sense because the Earth isn't in the same spot that it's in even 5 seconds ago. I mean, we're hurtling through the space at 10,000 or plus miles an hour.
Yeah.
So 1 second from now, we're a couple of miles off from where we were. So if you go back in time, you're now in the middle of space. So maybe there were time travelers that, were successful, but they're back there. We left them behind.
Yeah.
The whole... Like you saw the butterfly effect, right?
Yeah. So
that makes sense where he goes back into his own consciousness. I mean, into his own body and takes over his consciousness, but inside.
I'm not talking about making sense. I'm talking about if I was to have a superpower, I always wanted to be able to control time in some way, freeze time, go back in time, You can basically just, I'd have Groundhog Day for years. I'd just repeat the same day over again, just do different shit on that same day.
Really? That would be your superpower?
Yeah, well, you pointed out, and you made me kind of change it a little bit and added the time and space thing because you mentioned Jumper, that would be your superpower. And I'm like, oh, that...
Wait, when was this?
This was a while ago. This
I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, this was on the other the other attempt at a podcast.
Orbing. I choose orbing.
Orbing?
Yeah, like in a white lighter.
White lighter and Charmed. Well, I mean, That's good too, because you can go anywhere. You don't need you can basically just be homeless.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a place to you pop in anywhere you want. Go to an empty hotel room, and that's where you're staying for the night. You can go anywhere and get food. Money is no longer even necessary anymore. You just pop in wherever you want, take whatever you want, and go.
Not for nothing. Put me in the fucking Matrix.
We're in the Matrix.
I would welcome but we still have to work and everything.
Yeah.
And put me in the happy Matrix.
Not according to the people that wrote The Secret. I told you about The Secret.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Of course it's bullshit. And it's cheesy as hell when you watch it, but there's people that actually believe this. But basically, their thought on how everything works is as long as you believe something to be true, it will eventually come true.
So if I believe I get a 10-foot dick, it'll just come true. Then my dick will grow 10 feet.
In your mind, I guess. I have no idea. But no, if you just keep concentrating on the fact that you want to be a millionaire, eventually it'll come to pass. And actually, Jim Carrey is kind of in on this whole thing.
Jim Carrey, yes. Let's take advice from Jim fucking Carrey.
I'm just, well, here's the thing about Jim Carrey. Look where he is right now.
I think Jim Carrey got to be Jim Carrey because he's a funny motherfucker. I don't think him, The Secret had anything to do with that shit.
He did this speech for some college and I actually liked the speech. It's a good speech. It's funny. It's good. But he told a story in the speech about when he was a kid. He wanted a bike, right? He wanted a bicycle, a specific bike or whatever. So he just kept believing in his mind that it would happen. And the bike showed up on his doorstep.
Really?
Because his friend had entered him in a raffle and he won. Basically he just goes into, things have been like that his whole life, and that's why he is where he is today.
Every dead body on Mount Everest believed that they were going to make it to the top and survive.
They got to halfway, and then they started to doubt themselves.
and they were once motivated. They were once highly motivated, and they believed they're going to make it to the top. Now they're dead bodies on fucking Mount Everest. I got to stay there.
As far as you know, they are. Maybe in their reality, they're still living well. They moved on to a different dimension, and in your reality, they're just dead.
They're fucking dead. That's this creepy part. Have you seen those pictures?
Yeah. They're just because you can't bring them down.
Yeah, no,
they just leave them up there. They're actually markers. The other climbers used them as markers, and they've got names for each one of the dead bodies. But every religion's like that. I come from a somewhat religious family. I'll say I come from a religious mother. Like everybody else in the house is Catholic, but you know how Italian Catholics are, right? It's just like, they celebrate the holidays. They might go to Christmas Mass, but for the most part, they just live their lives. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you watch The Godfather, they'll kill everybody and then they'll just go to confession. Like that's that's the whole thing. As long as there's a confession involved, then they do whatever the fuck they want. But my mother, she became a born again Christian.
Oh God.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I think I was probably like 11 years old, and it's so culty. It's such a cult.
You poor bastard. You had to grow up in that.
Oh man, with faith healing.
Oh my God.
And all kinds of shit.
I'm surprised you're still alive.
I know. Benny Hinn Ministries was a big thing. I'm sure she's still into it. I don't give a fuck. But basically, this guy, there's something you could actually pull up and watch. A Benny Hinn Ministry.
I keep thinking you're going to say Benny Hill.
Well, yeah. No, he's Israeli guy turned Christian, turned born again Christian, but he does this thing where he takes his jacket coat off, and people come up on stage, and he waves his jacket at them, and the anointing from God flows from him, and they all fall on the ground and start writhing on the ground like they're in the spirit and shit. basically, that's the shit my mom believes. So this secret stuff, it's not any different. It's the exact same shit. You believe, but here's the thing. The problem with this is science. When it comes to science, there's a precedent for this. The placebo effect.
Yes.
Why does the placebo effect work at all? It doesn't make any sense that it should work at all.
You believe something, yes. If you believe that you're going to be a big star, you're going to work at it. And you work at it, and some people, it works for some people. We know that there's some people that just fall flat in their face, no matter how much they believe. They still believe, and they're still falling flat in their face.
Yeah.
The placebo.
But the placebo effect is a real thing. People have a disease. They go into these clinical trials for this medication. Some of these people are given nothing but a sugar pill.
Yeah,
and somehow,
I've heard what it is.
I know, and somehow, miraculously, this disease goes away. What is that? What is it?
Magic.
It doesn't make any sense. My question is, and this is a silly question, but I kind of have a point with it. Does the placebo effect exist in lab mice? I know it's a stupid question, but let's say, like, when you do a clinical trial on people, you have the control group, which is basically just you have 20 people that aren't doing anything. They're not on placebo. They're not on the regular medication. That's your control group. Then you have another 20 people that are on the medication, and then you have a separate 20 people that are on the placebo. The placebo people that wind up curing their ailment, whatever it is a higher percentage than the control group that did nothing. So it's not just a situation where people are going to be healed anyway, and it just happens to be that they're in the placebo group.
So we should just forego modern medicine, just pray our sickness away. Is that what you're getting?
No, that's not what I'm getting at all. I'm just saying, why does it exist? So in mice, when they do these clinical trials, I don't think they give the mice a sugar pill? Do they have a control group, a regular
I
group?
hope you're not expecting an answer from me, because I am farthest from being a scientist as you can possibly imagine.
Well, my question is, because I don't know the answer to that question, but my question is, if they do that, is there a sugar pill placebo group in mice that also has the same effect, or is it do you have to be a human so you can believe that it's going to work?
Well, here's the crazier one. When they were trying to measure some kind of particles or whatnot, I forget what was the actual test, but I know that whatever your mindset was, because it was either the test was either a dot or a wave.
Okay.
And I think they were measuring some particles or something.
Oh, I know this one. Yeah.
Yeah, and so for some it was a dot, and for some it was a wave, and they determined that whatever you envisioned it would be is what it turned out to be. And some people were able to go back and forth. Like, I envisioned it to be a dot, and it was a dot. And I envisioned it to be a wave, and it turned out to be a wave. Yeah,
well, the only experiment I know of with that was the thing with the two slits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the two slits, and if they observed it, it would change. So they were saying that's the observer effect. But what Neil deGrasse Tyson said, which kind of explained it to me, was if you're, let's say right now I'm looking at you, right? The light's bouncing off of you and into my eyes. That's the reason I can see you, right? If I bring you down to the smallest particle, you're now, if light hits you, light waves or particles are heavier than you are as a single particle. So that's why particles pop in and out of existence and all that stuff. It has nothing to do with the actual observer. It has to do with the instruments they're using to measure the observation. So they have to have light in order to see, and they have to use microscopes and all that. As soon as those things come into play, it actually affects the particle itself. So it's kind of a false positive for the observer effect. It doesn't really actually affect anything. If you didn't observe it, it would go the exact same way, a wave or whatever the hell it is. But
I wonder how many people are going to fall asleep to this fucking podcast.
I know, this is crazy.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But, I mean, are there any new people joining Scientology? Are they getting any new members?
Well, everybody talks about Harvey Weinstein and his power trips. Scientology has their own little power trips, too. I mean, supposedly there's a lot of artists that want to be big stars, and they're like, "We'll join Scientology and we'll make you big star." And a lot of them where I don't want to be part of this anymore, and it's like, "Oh, then we're just going to destroy your career then."
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, with everything everybody knows about Scientology, I mean, we have the internet now. It's one thing if you were in the 1980s and you thought Scientology was a good thing to join. Now we have the internet. Why would any new members join Scientology?
To be part of something, everybody wants to be part of something awesome. They want to be part of the.
But you can look it up now.
Republicans and but they're not part of a group.
Yeah.
Like, look at the whole. Like, we all know politicians suck a dick. Yet everybody's like, I'm a Republican. Oh, I'm a Democrat. Yeah. We all know it doesn't matter. Yeah. They all will fuck you over in the ass. It's just basically, do you want to get fucked in the mouth or do you want to get fucked in the ass? That's the only difference between a Democrat and a Republican. Where do you want the dick?
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody's still like, Republican, Democrat. It's just my team blue won, team red won. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
People just want to be part of it. I want to be part of something special. I want to be part of something bigger. Don't you ever feel that you should be, that you want more out of life and to be part of something bigger and special? Oh, shut the fuck up. God.
But I don't know. All religions, including this secret thing, it's all the same. It's all the same shit.
It's all playing on everybody's idea that they want to be, especially if you're sick. Mm-hmm. We'll join a religion and we'll, give you the pat. Here's a funny story. You ever wonder why priests are celibate? Is it celibate where you're not allowed to? It's not supposed to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You ever wonder what? Well, I forget where I heard this story from. But supposedly, I mean, now we have our own rock stars and everything. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, like before TV, like in the 1400s or pre-TV and newspapers and all that, there were no musicians, there were no bands, being the rock stars. The rock stars were the priests. Mm-hmm. So, as we know, when rock stars come around, women are just like, fuck me. So... Imagine priests were just laying pipe all over the place. Yeah. So now you're trying to get people to join your religion. And so now you got these dudes who are like, I don't want to join your religion. You're a priest. Fuck my wife. Get the fuck out of here. So, you know what, guys? You're going to have to celibacy. You dumb fucks. You ruined it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they weren't always celibate. That wasn't always a rule.
Yeah, but, it had to be put in play. Wasn't they were celibate for guys? Like, no, celibate because you guys can't put the pussy down. Yeah. Now they can't put the dick down. Little boys' dicks. Which is funny because remember that whole Sinead O'Connor thing
when she tore up the picture of the Pope.
Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing that. I never understood why. I saw her do it. I didn't watch the actual. When it happened, it was just on the news. I'm like, what does she do that for? And nobody said why she did it. They just said she's disrespectful. She's crazy, and her career just went to the shitter. I think it wasn't until like a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I found it's like, she knew about.
Well, not just that. She's also Irish. And there's a big thing about, there's a war going on to this day in Ireland with the Protestants and the Catholics. So, yeah, that's part of the reason why she
Well, there was another one. Well, first she knew about all the child molestations. That's why she was. And the Pope wasn't doing anything about that. And there was another one where women were being put into these monasteries if they were like homeless or bad or anything, and if they weren't, you know, I want to say conforming
Okay.
to how, you know, being a good girl, they were killed.
Yeah.
And they found like mass graves in this one monastery or something. And that's what I think she was put in there for a bit. I probably butchering the story, but that was one of the other things that she was, because supposedly the Pope knew about that and didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And she just ripped up the Pope, and it's like, you might want to have given some context, like written down in the paper, the Pope knows about child molestations and female murders, and then ripped up his picture instead of just ripping up his pictures. I'm like, why is this crazy bitch ripping up his picture?
Yeah. I never really understood why people cared. I mean, my mom was one of the people that cared. I grew up Catholic until I was around 11.
Why do we care about little boys getting molested?
No. Why did anybody care about Sinead O'Connor? Like, my people, religious people, especially Catholic people, were all pissed off.
Yes, they found it disrespectful. That's why. But there was a reason behind. My whole thing is, she could have done a better job of explaining why she's ripping up the picture of the Pope, because I had no fucking clue. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck she do that for? I mean, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it didn't matter to me, but it was just like,
Exactly.
why'd she do that for? I mean, this was before Twitter and internet and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, once again, he's just a monkey. He's just a monkey in a gold hat. There's no difference between him and every other douchebag we hear about.
He's got a direct relation to God. That's very disrespectful.
Here's the thing that people need to realize.
You are going to go to hell.
Here's the thing that people need to realize.
You're going to have a
and
double pitchfork in
here's the
your ass.
epiphany that I had, and it took me a long time. Like I said, I grew up Catholic. My mom became a born-again Christian and basically brought the whole family into this cult of born-again bullshit. And so I grew up under this shit. So I never really believed, but at the same time, when you grow up under it, it's kind of just there. Like, there's a God. He had a son through some virgin lady, and he watches everything you do, and he's mad at you.
But have you heard that if you're if you put your penis inside of a girl and don't move, he doesn't see you. Supposedly.
Is that a Mormon thing?
I don't know. I heard it somewhere. I just wish
it's called soaking.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's called soaking. I think it's the Mormon kids.
Oh, of course,
that
the
do it.
Mormons would ruin fucking a girl. I mean, Jesus, soaking.
God can't see you.
I just wish aliens would just calm down.
Let me finish, because here's the thing that came to me later on in life. I would say in my late 20s. Like, it took this long for me to realize that I know everything there is to know about before the universe started. I know just as much as everyone else, and I know nothing. The Pope, pick anyone. I was about to say Alibaba. What the hell is that dude's that Indian dude with all the stupid philosophies? Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama. Pick anybody in history. You currently know the same amount about the universe and how it was created and what's after death as they did. There's nobody on this planet that can tell you any more than you already know. So why do people look up to the Pope, and now they find out he's molesting kids? People look up to, like, Bill Cosby. He was he was supposed to be the best father and
to be fair, the Pope
man.
wasn't molesting the kids.
Well,
he knew about the kids
how
being
do you
molested.
Know? Once again, he's a monkey in a gold hat. You have no idea what he's doing behind closed doors, but people look up to him. Every religion, and now the Scientology thing. I don't know if you watched.
Everybody looks up to that Dalai Lama. It's like, I don't even know what did he get voted.
He doesn't know any more than anyone else.
I think the Dalai Lama is more about peace and love and don't be a cunt to everybody.
Yeah, but have you heard some of the things he says?
Why
he
would I
speaks
even?
in gibberish.
Of course not. That's like what's that guy who died years ago and is able to predict the future.
Mm-hmm.
was it, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about? The old guy that he predicted 9/11. The two birds were going to knock down the brother.
I have no idea.
What is that guy's name?
Explain him again, so maybe it'll come to me. I have no idea.
When the Twin Towers fell, there was
There's a guy that predicted it beforehand?
like ancient.
Okay.
That two brothers were going to be taken down by two birds.
Okay, well, hang on.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
No, I've never heard that statement. But that's exactly what I'm talking about.
It's so vague that it could mean anything.
And you can
but
apply.
Yes, you can apply to anything.
Yep.
Well, that was my whole point with the Dalai Lama. That's why he speaks
you know what?
in gibberish.
I don't think he predicted 9/11. I think he predicted the Wright brothers. There's two guys and the birds, and now they're flying. You can apply that shit to anything. But that's the point, is these people make these statements, and people think they somehow know. Nobody knows any more than you do.
Well, you know, your curtains over there are red. That means you're a Satanist. That's my interpretation of...
Yeah, well, I mean, we went...
And the stars are aligned with Jupiter, and that means that you're going to fart soon.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I was going to say, it's just, I wish aliens, if there are aliens, just fucking come, please. Like, at what point, like, because it's getting tiring. It's like, can you just calm down and just say, look, you motherfuckers have it wrong. You motherfuckers definitely have it wrong. You guys are right. Just whoever's right or wrong, just please.
Nobody's right or wrong.
Well, somebody's got to be right.
No,
I'm not saying one of the religions are right. Maybe the atheists are right.
No.
Maybe
nobody's right.
Maybe the Hare Krishnas are right.
Nobody's right. Not even.
How do you know?
Not even us.
How do you know?
Not even
How
because
do you know?
it's made up.
How do you know? The
Just
Hare
like
Krishnas could be right.
Just like simulation theory is made up.
With the
I believe
long
I believe in
ponytail in the back is the correct way to live your life.
I believe in simulation theory more than anything at this point, and I'll even say it's made up. It's made up. When you were born, do you remember prior to being born?
Dude, I don't even remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
Okay, but nobody else remembers why they were born. You were born on this planet. You learned about all these different religions and all that, just like everybody else through history. There's no different. There is nobody that is holier than thou, that has the answers to everything. Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. It's just there.
How about this crazy theory? This is my own crazy theory, okay? Consciousness is energy. We all know that. I mean, we're energy and so on. Okay, so our consciousness, I mean, it's invisible because it just is. Don't just accept that.
Okay.
Right? And it's a giant, there's a master consciousness in the air.
Okay.
You know, that people consider God.
Okay.
And when you die, you go back to that consciousness, like a big giant, like a giant water bubble, just whatever. In a side dimension that's just right there, and we all just go. And every time a new life comes up, you get a piece of that consciousness and put it into new life, and it grows. And every time you die, you just go back into it.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Yeah, hive mind.
Well, not hive mind.
Well,
that's why sometimes you get mixed memories because, you get a piece of consciousness that was previous and has some memories.
There's also
that's why people say when you die, you go back to, how some people, they're here, but they feel alone.
Yeah.
Why do they feel alone? Because they miss that being part of the giant consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I like that theory too. I like that. And there's also, there's people that have been in car accidents or had head trauma and all of a sudden they speak French. Where the fuck does that come from? Why do they never spoke French before? Now they speak French because they got hit in the head. It doesn't make any sense unless we all tap into some kind of frequency. It also goes to simulation theory.
Simulation theory.
Exactly. We're just Sims.
You hit the wire the wrong way.
They rattled their
invisible
brain.
Wire.
The invisible wire. The antenna is now picking up a completely different frequency from the hive mind, the big spaghetti monster in the sky.
Strange game. The only winning move is not to play.